Hey everybody, this is Grace, and today is July 5th, 2020. You see the time. I've been doing this it's becoming a series on when a narcissistic woman starts in childhood trying to take everything that she can from you. And it's not just about one person, but so far it has been. And then they try to rub your nose in it. As time goes by, you can see that they've managed to do that. You don't know at first because they do like the smear campaign behind your back. You have no idea. Nobody's telling you. Years go by and you slowly but surely things start leaking out. And then they want to rub your nose in it, like I said. Couldn't remember the expression, but I think that's it. Rub your nose in it. And then some of the people that she managed to, whichever woman it was, managed to do that, do the smear campaign, and it worked, become their flying monkeys. Like they call them narcissistic flying monkeys. Yeah, this is a story of my life. Okay, they will take anything from you. Anything. The ones I know, anything. It can be money. It can be anything from money to friendships, and even for me, my old hometown. Yeah, my old hometown. Yeah, and I'm going to be probably doing more than this. This is the third video, and I don't want to repeat everything in the other one, so I'm going to link them at the end of the video. But and also when I say you, I don't mean you. So it's just the way I tend to say things as it is. Like when they rub your nose in it, it's not, I'm not meaning yours, but you see what I'm saying. And because of the pandemic, I live in Texas, and I'm staying home, staying safe for the most part, except for things I have to do. And this is how I'm doing my videos. It's just too noisy inside, too much going on. So, like I said, I've been doing this, and it became a series, and I was going to try to get it all in one video, but it wouldn't happen. But basically, I just listened to the first one. I just made it public today, and I should have done that before I did the second one, but I basically mentioned this about, there was a situation, something online I saw, and I didn't want it to make it about me. It was, basically the two of them, one of them showing a picture of the one, I called her Annie, the bad one, who managed to take a really close friendship and make it her own. She was has always been, wanting to take stuff from me. And I'm no contact with her, pretty much, but I see her on Facebook. Some of the stuff, because the other one, Mary, is on there too. And I didn't want to make it about me because they've been friends for a very long. I haven't been there. I moved around a lot. I would go back there for like every year and visit at least once. And so it wasn't like I was totally out of contact with Mary, but Annie was doing that smear campaign. And still to this day, okay, as far as I know. Not everybody's fooled by it, of course, but these people can be very charismatic, and they know how to manipulate people, master manipulators. And in my experience, they usually have they're usually very histrionic. It's not just women who can be histrionic, and it's not just women I know. But this is really the story of my life, and with these people. And the histrionic is, they want the attention to be on them. They don't care how they get it, and they don't care if it's negative or positive attention. And plus the way they dress, it's kind of obvious, it's just loud. They're loud all around. Their voices are loud. They tend to be. This isn't 100% across the board, but they're loud. Clothing's loud. When they're younger, it was very provocative. They were in their clothing. And they cackle when they laugh very loud. And in a restaurant, they don't care, or any place. They want that attention on them. They will laugh and do things very loud. Like I said, I keep saying that. And it goes on from there. I'm not diagnosing anybody. with the disorder, but it's just the behaviors that are so, and the whole narcissistic thing too on top of it. And like I said, story of my life with these people, and I've done video after video about people who are copycats. These are people who will, try to steal your, I'm not talking identity theft, but they'll try to steal your identity, steal your persona, steal things about you, like even your favorite color. Okay, I mean, it can be so petty. But that, I've said this before, if you ever say something like that to somebody, like, well, that's petty, you should just get past, or you've been told that. No, usually those petty things that somebody's doing to you, it's like a little petty thing. It's the purpose behind it. The overall picture is not petty. No. Yeah, I learned all those the hard way. But I learned a lot of this when I was a child. I'm talking going back to childhood. And it wasn't just me, of course. I'm not alone in this. I'm well aware of that. And not even alone in where it started, began seeing it happen to other people too. And and I know they don't tend to diagnose anybody with a personality disorder in their childhood. At least from what I know. I can't think of any, like the cluster Bs. But the behaviors don't just suddenly begin at age 18. And I'm sure they know that. They're aware of it. But, yeah, whatever. So, I can go back to my childhood and say and see them now, that their behaviors, they didn't stop. No, nothing was stopping them. Okay, like I said, they're very good at it, and especially the whole thing of behind the scenes. And I just more recently really started, last few years, I guess, focusing on that behind the scenes thing. Okay, so that's a little bit of the background. Each video is a separate video, and I add a little bit of it to that, to the other, from the other ones to this, to the current video. So, yeah. Now, about that photo that was put on Facebook of them two next to one another, like putting their heads together. Here and during the pandemic, that's not a good thing. Anytime it's really not a good thing. But, and Annie had put on there, how this is my best friend for my whole life and all of that. And like I said, I didn't want to make it about myself because they've been through so much. They're there and I'm not, and they've been through so much together. But something kept nagging at me. Like I said in that first video, something kept nagging at me and saying, no, there's more to that. And there were other things going on, around it. Like I said, I'm low contact, I should say, with Annie. But anytime during my life, whenever, it's like Annie wanted to be there to ruin it. I mentioned that more in the second one. She wanted to ruin whatever it was. And like I said, it even took, my old hometown. There's like no reason to go back there now. And I still want to, you get nostalgic. You do want to, I would go back there every year, but I haven't been in, I'm thinking it's 7 years. So, of course I want to, but, there were so many things that going on that I wasn't letting me. Like I said, I used to go back once every year. And it's a long, long drive. It can be up to 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours. No planes and all that. So I didn't want to make that whole picture, the thing, why she would put that up there about me. But something was nagging at me, and I think I'm right. I've always been the one that would think, seriously, in my life, you would think by now I would stop doing this. But I wouldn't. I would say, that can't be, whatever somebody's doing. I said, that can't be anything about me, and it would turn out it was. Okay, whether good or bad. Sometimes it was good. And, but I just wouldn't put myself as the center of someone's attention. I'm not like them. They put themselves at everything. Not just trying to get themselves as the center of attention, but assuming they are the center of attention. Like if I had put up a photo, they would assume that it's about them. They are so vain. Remember that song? I remember when I was a kid, I guess it was a kid, very early in life, hearing that song, You're So Vain. And I was saying, but, you probably think the song is about you. That's something like that. And I said, well, if the song is about them. I was a very logical kid, too. And because, yeah, well, it is, but, that's how I saw it. But these are people who do that. They think that everything is about them, and they ensure that everything is about them some way. They try really hard at it. So I tend to be, like I said, the opposite, and think that I'm not the center of that attention. And that wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant as a jab, or to rub it in my face. None of that when it is. That's a bad thing. Seriously, I think, they're one extreme. I tend to be the other extreme. Okay, so. Okay, now, like I said, this is the story of my life. And with this, it really, my story of my life is people doing this kind of thing to me. Behind the scenes, like I said, most of it's behind the scenes, and then nobody's telling me and all that. And, I'm not one who goes out for revenge. And Adam said something, I think it was this year even, when he said, well, you're not out for revenge. You're looking for, you're looking at it all wrong. That's not about revenge. You're looking, you should be seeing it as that you want justice to be served. You want justice. And it's true. I've always tried to say, try to make myself go away from, any kind of revenge or anything, or, even outing them. Okay, I would out them in, like, the past few years, being online. Next month will be 6 years of my original channel, YouTube channel. And I've been online since 1990. And I've seen this, not just at me, none of it's all directed toward me, just me. But people stealing people's ideas, people doing, these smear campaigns and trying to ruin somebody else's, whatever it was, blog, online journal, online diaries, blogs, now vlogs, video blogs, and or just their video, their channels, video channels, YouTube channels, and people who are so competitive, they're rather narcissistic. These days we put a lot of under the word narcissistic, and they try to ruin somebody else's to make them their own better, look better, and they look like the superior being, and the other ones are inferior, and so much of that. And I've never been one. I've hinted. Yeah, they've done it to me. I hinted. I make sure I hint. Oh, I hint big too. Now that to me is not really wanting revenge, but it's wanting to point it out. So in a way, I was already doing that, trying to get justice to be served. Because I will say this again: you can't change the date that you publish something on YouTube. When you publish that video, you make it public. People can watch it. It's dated, okay, in the description, I believe. And you see that date. No, they can't change it. I can't change mine. Nobody can change theirs. As far as I know, nobody can. So one of the things that the people love to do, not everybody, but the people like this, okay, the ones I'm describing, they love to take somebody else's ideas and make them their own. And some people think it's the smaller ones taking it from the bigger ones. My experience has been the opposite. The bigger ones take it from the smaller ones. Okay, because the smaller ones, they're not that well noticed. But guess what? Some people watch both big and small. And they can go and check those dates and say, well, wait a minute, this bigger one is stealing the ideas from the smaller ones. And I make sure I say that every once in a while, because it does happen. Yeah. And when more and more people see that, yeah, that's justice starting to be served. Okay, that's justice starting to be served. Okay, and although I'm not one to believe in karma, as some kind of mystical, magical kind of thing that happens, and I think more people think of karma, and they say that, and a lot of them will say, well, no, it's more of what goes around comes around. What you reap, what you sow. Let's see, what else, oh, the tangle web you weave, it can be that in the way that, yeah, when we first practice to deceive. And what comes out of all these kinds of things. Yeah, and one of the things that I have noticed more is that they do that to do that to, like I said, it's not just me. I've seen this one woman, she does it to a lot of people. She actually takes on their persona. Oh my goodness, it's freaky. I actually questioned if she, it used to be called multiple personality disorder. If she had, and now it's a dissociative identity disorder. I always pause right there, but if she has that, I'm not diagnosing anybody, but it's weird because she would just, but I think the main thing is that she steals people's ideas, various people, and tries to come off as it's her own thought. And she's not very good at it. She'll take stuff that is something she doesn't really know much about at all, and try to act like she has new ideas, and it's all her ideas, and it's not. And it's freaky. It's really creepy. Where was I going with this? I need more caffeine. Like I said, right now it's 9:14 a.m. I haven't had much caffeine, so I kind of lost my train of thought on that. But I know I was talking about, really karma. Karma bites them. It comes back around. Oh yeah, I was talking about that. Of one of the things I've noticed is that when they do that, and there's somebody, at least one or two or maybe more, or other people notice that they're doing that to this person, me even, or before then, they are afraid that somebody's going to notice, and it's that they become kind of a bit paranoid. Okay, and of course, the first thing they try to do is to smear that person without actually smearing that person, kind of like me, that I'll out them without saying their name. I'll just start talking about some of the stuff they do. And it's totally honest. It's just, for me, it's a pressure release valve. I got to get this stuff out. And doing videos like this is a pressure release valve for me. But in the long run, that's what happens. Is I'm saying, this person is doing it because they're doing it. They're doing it to me and doing it to others. But I'm not naming them. I'm not saying their channel name. I'm not saying their name. And it's more of it is, like I said, pressure release valve for me. But be careful. People like this out there in the world, and they're out there. But they get a little bit paranoid because, to me, like I said, they'll start that whole smear campaign, and they'll start, saying things like, people who do this, they will, it's projection, okay? They will start just even making videos about people who do that, do what they're doing, but they're not saying that. They're saying other people do it, and like I said, they kind of start getting paranoid, and they should, because they know that, and some part of them maybe knows they're doing wrong. You don't do that to people. But they don't care. They lack empathy. But what they don't lack, it seems like to be more of a little more neurotic. Because they should be. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. When you screw around a lot of people, not just one even. Yeah. The nice ones probably won't do something, but some of them out there, they're not so nice. Okay, and you're going to look foolish because, like I said, the dates are there. Proof can be changed. They don't think that far in advance, and actually, I've noticed that they don't think. They're just, it's like they're on some kind of autopilot. It's like a greed, money grabbing machine. Like if you're in one of those money grabbing machines, and they're just they don't have any. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They're good at manipulation. It's their autopilot. It's to be very competitive and to steal things, take things, want, all mine, mine, mine. Gimme, 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 and they take. So, and that's I've kind of gone off the topic to YouTube, but like I said, it's the story of my life. It's all these years, and really, I'm going somewhere with this. It's like the people that from childhood, You know, from there, you know, we're all around the same age. And, I mean, the same age group, seriously. And, like, right now, we're all in our 50s, I believe, all of us. And doing that, yeah, you know, how does justice be served? And I've been making these kinds of videos for a few years now, and I want to get to that point of saying what I'm going to do, or what I'm doing. It's nothing like evil. I can't be evil. They can be evil. Seriously, evil people. And, you know, there's always a danger with these people. I mean, physical. If, you know, danger isn't just physical. Abuse isn't just physical. But with them, it can include physical. Okay, and physical, I've said this before, physical violence, physical abuse, it's not just physical. You know, seriously. Anyway. Now, one of the things I was thinking about last night and it wasn't really connected so much to this. In a way, it is, yeah. It was like, you know, well, I should say it's all connected. When you've had something like this, and you're doing something that is not about them, okay? It's not about them. You know, it could be more than one. And, but at some point you say, wow, you know, this could it could really tick them off when it comes down to it. Because of their behaviors, they're paying attention. Because of their own behaviors, because of what I just mentioned, you know, they get a bit paranoid. They pay a lot of attention to what you're doing. Okay, and this can, like I said, be online or not. They're really focusing to see, they're waiting to see if you do go ahead and totally out them for their misbehaviors, you know, for their devious minds. And, you know, other people think that they're just perfect little angels when they're not. They're just pure devils. And I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking all that, but I was thinking, yeah, something that I do probably is an irritant to them because they have to pay so much attention. You know, seriously. And it takes a lot of time to pay a close attention to certain things, certain types of things. And what I was thinking about it was, you know, everybody should, I think, in any kind of a relationship, you know, personally, I'm not giving advice, this is just my opinion, I could be wrong, but they should have their own things that they do. That I just totally believe. You know, they don't have to be constantly, like if you're in a relationship, you know, romantic relationship, you don't have to totally be wrapped around one another and do everything together. People need their own things to do, and the other person doesn't have to know everything about it. Generally, yes, but they're not going to know everything about it because there's just too much. You're not trying. In other words, you're not trying to have a secret life. Okay, and now a secret life is a totally different thing. Right? So, you know, you have something going on. The other person or people, they might know some about it, you know, but they don't know a whole lot. Okay, and like in this kind of thing that probably irritating these other, you know, these bad actors, you know, it's irritating what I'm doing. And I'm finding it a little funny. And now that, I mean, it wasn't the cart before the horse kind of thing. It was the other way around. You know, I was doing it and I realized it. Not that I made sure I did it so it would happen. No. So now that I see it, I think, and it's funny to me. It's not, at this point now, it's like, I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for myself. But at the same time, there's that little mischievous side to it, because I know that it would probably irritate them. You see what I'm saying? That is it's clear as mud. All my videos, they're stream of consciousness. They're clear as mud. You know, if you listen, if you pay attention, which they would be paying attention. But anyway, so I had that happen, and, you know, I was thinking about it, and there really isn't anybody I can tell about it. Yeah, because nobody else, they know what to do, but those who do, don't go and tell everybody in the world. You don't disclose everything about yourself to everybody. And it's often dangerous. Could be. Not often, but it could be. So it's one of those things. I have nobody to share that with. And I do want to share it with someone. Just somebody to know this was the outcome. Although I wasn't doing it for that purpose, could be. There's a big possibility it would be the outcome. For them, for the bad actors. It's for them, not for the person or people I would be telling. But I really don't have that person, not even one. I used to. Then it turned out she was backstabber. That's what you got to watch. You know how they say that the people you gossip with, you just remember they could be gossiping about you. But I look at gossip in a different way. I think that there needs to be seriously, I know one of my haters will snap on this one quickly to make another video. And that is, I think that there should be people out there in this world besides counselors, and they don't behave like counselors. They're not counselors. They're just people, and they're not life coaches, that kind of thing. But people who anybody can call, for a fee, of course. They have a business of where they're there to just listen to people gossip. I do feel that way. Not a malicious gossip either. Not for malicious gossipers. Gossip, gossip is not always malicious. Sometimes it's just keeping up, and sometimes it's working through issues like this, like I am. If I had somebody, I could bounce it off of somebody else that was, is an outsider, can see better inside sometimes, someone who's a bit more objective and not a counselor. Okay, I don't have any problem against counselors. I have a problem with some life coaches, yeah. My degrees are in psychology and sociology, and I studied to become a counselor. I was a career student. Oh my goodness. And then I got burnt out. That's another story for another video. But yeah, I think like I said, just the person's not going to be doing any kind of counseling. The person isn't going to be giving any advice. Or, maybe they just tell their view. And that's how we used to work through problems when I was starting young. Is we tell our story, and other people can glean from it whatever they want. Like if somebody comes to you and says, I have this problem, and you would tell your own story, and the person would say, oh, okay. Then they could think it through, have an alternative, look at it, and they could think it through, and like I said, glean from what they want and go from there. It's not really direct advice. It's just what they did in their situation. And I think that people need an outlet for this, what's going on in their lives, that the people in their lives, and maybe the people in their lives don't want to hear it because they, like if you have on the job and you have a big problem with somebody, you don't want to, you don't want to take your job home. Have people say that in a way that's wrong, but that's another video too. But, to have someone you could just call, and like I said, some people would say, well, that's a friend. No, it's somebody who's more objective, somebody who's not involved in it, somebody who's not involved directly with you, except for that communication. Okay, and anyway, my thoughts on this could be wrong. Some would say, oh, it's a counselor, but I don't know. You see, I don't know. I don't think that's what a counselor would be. Okay, seriously. Just someone, like I just said, all that, yeah. Anyway, I should probably wrap this up, because I don't like it when I get, like I am right now, I'm kind of laughing a lot. It happens. And it could be, I'm type 2 diabetic, and I'm having issues. They want me to go on insulin, so it's kind of between a brain fog and, so much going on. But yeah, I wanted to mention these things. And the last video, it just went on and on for 40 minutes. I was like, when I went back in the house, I told Adam, I said, what time did I go out there to do it? He says, about an hour ago. And I was like, whoa, I've never made video that long. And not just me talking. I've done videos like when I was doing shopping videos on my original channel. I did live streams and they lasted about an hour, some of them. But that's another story. I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll talk to you on another video.